Welcome to Robbins Regional Wrap, your one-stop shop for all your Houston County news. I'm Frederick Price. Each week, we're taking you through what's happening in Houston, Warner Robins, Robins Air Force Base, and your neighborhood. It's been more than 1 month since a quadruple homicide rocked Perry. 4 people of a single family were found murdered inside their mobile home. Police identified a person of interest, but so far, he's not been charged. Hunter King visited the neighborhood to talk to people about how they're feeling 1 month later.
It's been over a month now since 4 people were murdered inside of this trailer here in Perry. The biohazard tape is still on the door from crime scene investigators. We talked to neighbors in the area who say they're still anxious that no arrest has been made yet. Perry police made the gruesome discovery on April 4th. 4 family members killed inside this mobile home at Timberline Trailer Park. Police identified these victims ranging from 82 years old to just 2 years old. 3 died from stab wounds, and the eldest victim, Bola Robinson, was asphyxiated. Marilyn Mallard lives next door and remembers seeing the police tape. She said she has memories of the youngest victim.
First thing I thought about was the little baby, because she would always be in the window and she would, speak to me when I come home, she, talk to me.
Police have identified 34-year-old Michael James Jordan as a person of interest. Right now, he's in the Houston County Detention Center on several charges. They include aggravated stalking against one of the victims. Neighbor Crystal Fuller says the lack of an arrest has left her feeling unsafe.
And I'm thinking that person could still be just walking around out here. So it makes me scared. I'd be double locking my doors. I'm always checking and looking and stuff. I got cameras. It makes me paranoid. So it's I really can't rest because I don't know what's wrong. I actually been thinking about moving.
Perry Police Chief Alan Everidge says they're aware of a video doorbell on the front porch of the Robinsons family home, but he declined to say whether or not they've got video from it. He says the investigation is still active and he won't comment any further. Reporting in Perry, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Police say anyone with information about the case can call them at 478-988-2800. Again, that number 478-988-2800. A Warner Robins man is being held without bond for allegedly killing the mother of his children. Hunter King went to the neighborhood to try and find out more about what happened.
We're here on Willis Creek Road right now, and neighbors in the area say they're shocked by what happened. Authorities say just after midnight last night, this domestic dispute turned deadly. Warner Robins police say it happened early Friday just after midnight at 121 Willis Creek Road. Callers reported a domestic dispute with shots fired. Officers found 39-year-old Fallon Graham with 2 gunshot wounds to her abdomen. She later died at a hospital. Police arrested 43-year-old Antonio Mincy at the scene. Now he's charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, and a weapons charge. Howard Hall, who lives just 3 doors down, says he didn't hear anything unusual. Did you hear anything?
Not a thing. And I was sitting right in my living room on 3 doors down.
Did you hear any police response or anything like that?
Nope.
Really?
Yep. I went to bed about 12:30 last night. I didn't hear any sirens or anything.
Hall says now he feels less safe in his neighborhood because of the shooting. Other folks agreed. Alawume Adegoke has lived in the area and was surprised by the violence.
It's a very safe neighborhood. I've never had anything of such before.
Warner Robins police say their criminal investigation unit and identification crime scene unit are investigating. Now, one neighbor that I talked to didn't want to be on camera, but he told me that he often saw the 2 outside of their home and would wave. He said that they also had 2 kids as well. Reporting in Warner Robins, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Houston County Coroner James Williams says Graham's body will be sent to the GBI Crime Lab Monday for an autopsy. Anyone with information on this case can call Macon Regional Crime Stoppers at 1-877-68-CRIME. Tenants at the Stonehenge apartment complex say they're still being charged for rent after a fire left 7 families displaced. Jasmine Lee shares how one mother is grappling with what to do next.
This is what's left of several units here at Stonehenge Apartments after this week's fire. While the flames are long gone, some tenants think they're getting burned financially. They say they're getting rent bills for apartments they can no longer stay in.
I am hurt. I'm angry.
Ashley McCormick recently moved into Stonehenge with her husband and 3 kids, but 2 weeks later, they lost everything in the fire. Now they're living out of a hotel.
We only been here for 2 weeks and this happened and we lose everything. That's not fair. That's not fair to us at all. We should get some type of help from them.
But even after losing their home, the apartment complex is still holding them to their lease and asking for their rent. She showed me a section in her lease that says the lease will end if the unit is made uninhabitable due to fire.
I got to hold all those emotions in, because I lost so much.
And while every case is different, Georgia law generally says renters don't have to keep paying rent if the home is unlivable and the tenant isn't at fault. That's according to State Code 44-715.
Just to see everything we worked hard for just going to waste.
Maisha Ash lived just a few doors down and lost everything in the fire. She says she was also charged rent, but once she brought in legal help, the complex refunded her money.
They were still trying to give us a hard time, so my husband had to reach out to some legal action to come in the picture, and we was able to get resolved,
Several renters told me their insurance was included in the rent, but after the fire, property owners told them it would be used for liability on the complex. Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
And the fire department says the cause is still under investigation. Jasmine stopped by the leasing office, but no one was available for comment at the time. Some renters tell us they did not have separate renters insurance. If you're looking to rent anywhere, it is important to check if your lease requires separate renters insurance. You can always get quotes online, by phone, or through an insurance agent. Federal employees across central Georgia are raising concerns now about proposed cuts to their retirement benefits. A House Republican plan would eliminate a supplement that bridges the gap between retirement and Social Security. Thousands of workers at Robins Air Force Base could feel the impact. Hunter King has their story.
After 38 years at Robins Air Force Base, Emily Whaley planned to retire this September.
I opted in for the DRP, so if I get accepted for that and I decide to retire 30 September, which was my plan.
That DRP she accepted is the deferred resignation program sent out by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. But now her plans to retire are up in the air. A House budget reconciliation bill would eliminate the federal employees' retirement supplement, money that bridges a gap between retirement and Social Security that kicks in at age 62. Whaley says she was counting on that money for a big chunk of her retirement income.
To supplement us until we're Social Security age, we get what they call the first supplement. They're going to eliminate that altogether.
The bill would also require all federal employees to contribute 4.4% of their salary toward their pension. That's a big increase for longtime workers. And it would calculate pensions using the highest 5 years of salary instead of 3, resulting in lower monthly payments.
I'm not against, reinventing the pension system if they want to do that for federal employees, but it should be not federal employees who are at the end of their careers, maybe for new hires.
Financial advisor Sherry Goss sees the issue differently. She says the current federal system needs to change to stay viable.
We're at a point now with the debt in this country that we've got to fix some stuff. And so I would much rather they fix it now and make sure it's sustainable for the long run than not do anything about it and then run out of money.
Whaley, who says she voted for President Trump, is now calling on Republican lawmakers to reconsider. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee says this will save $50 billion. Reporting in Warner Robins, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Well, the House committee approved the package by a narrow 22-21 vote. Unions representing federal workers are warning it could make federal employment less attractive and undermine job security. The full House is expected to vote on the package soon. Warner Robins city leaders approved new rules aimed at keeping shopping carts from piling up around town. Leaders say abandoned carts are creating a safety hazard and have become a form of blight. In the last few weeks, the city announced several ways to plan to tackle blight. Jasmine Lee breaks down what the new ordinance means and how soon stores will need to make changes.
If you're tired of seeing stray shopping carts cluttering sidewalks, parking lots, or even showing up in front yards, you're not alone. Warner Robins city leaders are hearing your concerns, and tonight they're popping up with a possible solution.
Scattered across neighborhoods and stuck in ditches, abandoned shopping carts are becoming a common sight in Warner Robins.
It makes the city look not so nice.
Mayor LaRonda Patrick says the issue goes beyond appearances. It's making the city's ongoing fight against blight that much harder. Monday night, council passed an ordinance requiring stores to keep their carts on property through locking systems or other solutions to prevent them from being stolen.
They're inside of our wooded areas, our undeveloped developed parcels of land in the commercial districts or otherwise, where carts are just left there. And then the property owners are left with a citation, a fine, and having to answer for the blight on their property.
If a cart is found off property businesses, it would be considered a code violation and could include a fine. And under Georgia law, removing a cart from store grounds is already illegal.
Our unhoused community uses those carts to hold their belongings, and they abandon them.
Councilman Derek Mack says the issue ties into other challenges facing the city, like homelessness. He says under the new rule, businesses with 10 or more carts will be required to register as cart owners.
They have to be held accountable if their carts are all over the city. So we're going to require them to put signage on their carts to let them know who they belong to. And if they're away from their parcel, they can be held accountable as well.
The new rule will take effect in 60 days. Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
And city leaders tell Jasmine they are not alone in this. They say similar ordinances are popping up across the state as communities work to tackle the same issue. This isn't the only step the city has taken to fight blight. Last month, leaders made some changes to its blight task force. Well, 3 Perry High School seniors are about to leave the district with a positive paper trail. When Perry ended its recycling services last May, they started the Houston County Recycling Initiative. Naomi Washington shows us how they've managed to turn leftover paper from Houston County classrooms into something the community can use again.
Seniors Bryson Griner, Roxy Singleton, and Daniel Chun launched the Houston County Recycling Initiative last July. Instead of trashing good paper, Griner says they want to keep the cycle going.
Each school uses around 400,000 pounds of paper each year, so obviously that's a big waste, and also that's a lot of money that is being wasted that we could repurpose and reuse.
These cardboard boxes are in every classroom in 8 different Houston County schools. The schools encourage students and staff to throw their scrap paper into them. Chun says then Happy Hour Recycling picks it all up weekly and takes it to a recycling center.
The idea really started with when people recycle, they put the paper in the box and they understand it's recycled, but there's nothing more after that.
Now they've created a tangible way to show people there's a use for paper after it hits the bin.
They're very effective fire starters that are used to, in any scenario, campfires or in your home. And they're a really cool tool that shows the physical labor of these efforts in recycling.
Singleton says they sell the eco-friendly paper bricks for fires starting at $5 each or 5 for $20.
So we've currently sold 147 bricks, making a $700 profit that goes back into our FBLA chapter to help students experience the full benefits of FBLA.
The recycling initiative has the state stamp of approval too.
So we went to the state competition, placing second and earning a spot at the national competition in Anaheim, California this summer.
They hope to expand to more Houston schools, and when they graduate in May, another set of students will pick up where they left off. Reporting in Perry, Naomi Washington, 13 WMAZ News.
That's actually pretty impressive. At a new innovation hub in Perry, they hope to sow the seed to revolutionize Georgia farming. Leaders broke ground on the University of Georgia Grand Farm last week, and as Hunter King explains, it could change how farmers work across the Southeast.
Friday, more than 200 people gathered at this 250-acre site near the Georgia National Fairgrounds. The project brings together the University of Georgia and a North Dakota-based agricultural innovation group, Grand Farm. The project has been in the works since last June. The farm will allow companies and researchers to test new technologies in real field conditions. The first crops will go into the ground this year, focusing primarily on cotton to start, and then moving on to other crops. Caitlin Cobb is the interim operations director. She says Georgia agriculture faces numerous challenges, from labor shortages to rising costs. And now the farm is looking to address these problems through new technology that's tested at the site.
Farmers are facing all sorts of challenges: labor, climate, commodity pricing. Some of these companies are bringing things like autonomous equipment and robotics. Some of them are bringing sensor technology or farm management software.
This machine right here helps irrigate the land out here. It's one of a few examples of what companies can test out here. Anything from big robots to the seeds in the soil. The farm has already exceeded expectations, attracting 3 times more corporate partners than projected for its first year.
We need to help our farmers be able to sustain themselves economically, and that means we need to help them be efficient.
Perry says the site will offer educational opportunities from elementary school tours to college internships, all designed to strengthen Georgia's agricultural future. Reporting in Perry, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Well, $3 million has been allocated to fund the farm from the last two state budgets. The facility aims to become financially self-sustaining through its partnerships with agricultural technology companies. Well, that's a wrap on what's happening throughout the Robbins region this week. If you have a Houston County story you want to share with us, email us at news@13wmaz.com and make sure to come back each Friday to get all your Houston County news and stories that matter to you. Thank you for joining us. I'm Frederick Price. We'll see you next time.